All right. Good evening. Welcome to the Derry Town Council meeting for Tuesday, December 5th. Council Katsoukaris, will you please lead us in the pledge?
Everybody. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Hotel room. Please silence your cell phones if you have them on, and we'll do a roll call. Council Chiricello.
Good evening.
Council Katsoukaris.
Good evening.
Council Flood.
Good evening.
Council Granessi.
Good evening.
Council McEachern.
Good evening.
Council Spencer, you're online.
I'm here. Good evening.
There you are. And good evening from the chair, and we have the town administrator and Madam Clerk here as well. Do we have a motion to open public forum?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion on public forum, seconded by Council Katsoukaris. On the motion, Council Chiricello. Yes. Council Katsoukaris.
Yes.
Council Flood.
Yes.
Council Granessi.
Yes.
Council McEachern.
Yes.
Council Spencer.
Yes.
The chair votes yes. The floor is now yours. If you wish to speak, come up and do so. State your name and address for the record. Good evening.
Good evening. Nancy Francis, 4 Gulf Road here, back once again with the pantry plunge update. But I thought we'd start with a little history. I came before you 7 years ago. I was so nervous. What do I say? Will anybody show up? Will the plunge sink or swim? I don't know. Most importantly, would this fundraiser be an effective way to help fight hunger, help the FBC Community Food Pantry fight hunger in our area? Well, I think that it's safe to say that first event began a community response to a community problem. People dug deep and they found their courage and they plunged. Others were inspired and they donated, and together we learned that together we can. Now, it's 7 years later, and I look forward to my annual trips to town council. It's with a grateful heart that I thank you, that I come here personally to thank you. Parks and Rec, Public Works, Derry TV, Public Health, and the Fire Department for making this and every pantry plunge possible. But to be clear, I'm still nervous. The food pantry's been battling hunger in our area for over 35 years, and unfortunately, hunger is putting up quite a fight. The number of guests at the pantry in the past few months have topped any records we've had since we've been keeping records, and not in a good way. So I'm back tonight to ask you, to ask the town and the surrounding towns to join us in this fight against hunger. Help us make sure none of our neighbors go hungry this season or any season. If you can, donations can be made at pantryplunge.org or by stopping at Blue Seal Feeds over there at 3 Martin Street. Our 7th team will be going in this coming Saturday. And remember, it is this Saturday, Galleons Beach on Beaver Lake, this Saturday, December 9th at noon. This is the season of giving. Please be a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you for all your efforts in doing that every year.
Yep.
Big part of the community, so.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Name's Jim Foley. I live at 178 Hampstead Road here in Derry. Appreciate you giving me this time this evening. The horrific terrorist attacks over the last 2 months in Israel have not only threatened world peace, but it has exposed an ugly strain of anti-Semitism in this country and in this state. Having attended several Shabbat services over the last few weeks, I will tell you that our neighbors are angry, upset, concerned, and saddened. As I wrote in my email to the council, and now asking publicly that the town council to pass a resolution of support for Israel, condemning the terrorist, and at the same time, terrorist and the anti-Semitic behaviors here in this town, an additional request that for a period of time, the Israeli flag fly at the town municipal center. I will remind the councilors that this council or predecessor council has made a similar efforts for other marginalized communities, and I think these actions would be highly appropriate now. Now, I'm unsure of the process, and Councilor McEachern has informed me that the process has begun to move forward. If there's anything I can do to assist those efforts, please respond to my email. In addition, I would remind the councilors and everyone in town that this Friday night there will be a menorah lighting and a dinner at Etzheim Synagogue, and I encourage all the counselors and all the town members to attend. I'll finish briefly with Isaiah 43:10. We are all witnesses. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Mr. Foley, that is in the works for next December 19th meeting. We
That I
will,
understand.
we
I
will,
appreciate
okay. Yep, thank you very much.
Thank you. Steve Trefethen, Realtor, 44 West Broadway, property owner in Derry. Exit 4A, the gift that keeps giving. The town council who voted for our $5 million, and I don't blame the town council. It's just you get one thing when they're trying to get money, and you get a whole other thing when you really find out. So I'll just go do the little math again, because I'm not going to let you forget, that there's only 11 properties off the exit from here to the police station that were taken. 2 of those is 80 North High and 5 Madden Road. The assessed value today would be about $3.5 million. Anyway, there goes whatever that is, 80,000 in taxes, and then, so they're non-usable. Those are non-usable, they're done. Basically, they're done. And then there's my properties, who are the deepest lots, and I don't know what we pay, maybe 12,000 in taxes now, but the building I proposed there would bring 150,000 a year. When you add that in, there goes 230. And that property, they put a 10-year easement on. My appraiser, who did the big dig and everything else, he's one of the best appraisers around, he told me the only appraisal he's seen, the only property he's seen off the highway with a 10-year easement was the big dig. He said all the stuff he's working on in Boston, he's never seen a 10-year easement. It's like they want to kill us for fun, because this goes on for 10 years. So that's 230,000. And of course, once I lose my houses here, or when we get done here, I'm coming downtown and get a tax abatement, and then you can kiss my 10 or 12 grand goodbye, because it's going to turn into about 2 grand, because without my buildings, it's not worth much. And then there's 2 lots next to me. Part of that has a 10-year easement, also has a drainage canal. One is a half lot, one is a full lot. 10 years, you got to deal with it. And it's not really much once you take the drainage easement that goes back to the watershed. And then you've got the 4 or 5 lots, I forget what it is, of houses, which today's value would be about, $350,000, and at our tax rate, it's a total about $40,000 for those. So there goes $300,000 a year. We need the money, and it's gone for 10 years. Now, I know, and thanks, Dave, for the email. I appreciate that. I know we're talking about, we like to have a hotel come and all that. Well, we still have Semina and all that, but you know what? I don't think the exit's going to really help the few properties we have left, and hopefully Semina will be one of them. But what are you going to do? You still got to wait for the exit to come in. It's 4 years away anyway. So that's a big blow. This 10-year easement, by the way, is new, and that was put in 22 after like everything, when it was already a much shorter easement where we could have worked on plans and everything. So all I'm asking the council to do is just be aware, keep your eyes open. They could care less about Derry. I've asked them to do some things to help us out for taxes and stuff, and now that they got the land, they just don't care. So I'd say just keep your eyes open. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Anybody else wish to speak from the public? Oh, anyone online?
Seeing none, rise online, Mr. Chair.
Seeing no one here, Mr. Chairman, and no one online, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second?
Okay, we have a motion to close public hearings and seconded. Council Churchill? Yeah. Council Katz-Corris?
Yes.
Council Flood?
Yes.
Council Canesi?
Yes.
Council McEachran?
Yes.
Council Spencer?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, public forum is now closed. Consent agenda 23-127, approved minutes from November 21st, 2023. And agenda item 23-128, resolution number 2023-081, to approve a supplemental appropriation for improvements to the Derry Public Library and designate an agent to expend for the Capital Reserve Fund. There'll be a hearing, public hearing on that at the next meeting, December 19th, here in this room. Do we have a motion?
Motion to accept the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Councilor McEachran, second by Councilor Katz-Corris to accept the agenda. Councilor Churchill? Yes. Councilor Katz-Corris?
Yes.
Councilor Flood?
Yes.
Councilor Canesi?
Yes.
Councilor McEachran?
Yes.
Councilor Spencer?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, carries. Chairman's report. I have nothing other than December 19th. To Mr. Foley's point, we will do a resolution for the council to sign those if you so desire. It'll be ready for the next meeting. Mr. Karen.
Thank you. On finances, revenues are tracking as anticipated. There's nothing significant to report at this point. The Snow Deal, you may recall that. It's an event that's planned for Big Island Pond in the winter with drag racing for snowmobiles. We're continuing to work on that permit, balancing the requests of the applicant and the needs and security of the impact of the neighborhood. So we suspect that'll be wrapped up next week or so. On DPW operations, congratulations to Mike Fowler, Tom Carrier, our chief wastewater plant operator, Will Peterson, and assistant plant operator, Kevin Watton. I received an email from the state this week about an excellent review of the treatment plant operations during the state's annual inspection, so it's great to hear. And last, on Exit 4A, we've got a meeting scheduled next week to continue to finalize the access to the police station under Contract B. And also, the state is also going around looking for strip acquisitions, 10, 12, 15 feet of the frontage. So our town assessor met with DOT's representatives on strip acquisitions of certain town properties, which we'll have to bring back to the council at some point. And that is my report for today.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay. Public hearing, 23-124, resolution 2023-078, to authorize a town to apply, receive, and expend a grant from the Stanton Foundation in support of a police canine program. Captain Michaud will be presenting. Good evening.
Take this off if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Good evening, councilors. On behalf of Chief Fioli, I am here tonight to seek your approval to apply for a grant and subsequently accept funding from the Stanton Foundation. This funding would help offset the cost of starting our canine program. For those of you who don't know, the Stanton Foundation provides police agencies grants to help support the implementation and startup of canine programs. These grants have actually been utilized by many of the surrounding agencies and have been quite successful. The grants are typically awarded in the amount of $32,000. That $32,000 can be spent on purchasing the actual canine, on training costs, constructing kennel facilities at the officer's residence, food, vet costs, and other expenses. Additional funding is also available in the form of backfill for the officer who would be assigned as the canine officer when they're spending 14 weeks in the academy being trained. They will cover $1,100 per week. So if you do the quick math on that, that comes up to $15,400 in addition to the $32,000 I previously mentioned. On top of that, the grant will also cover enhanced training in the area of narcotic or explosive detection, and that's typically in the area of $4,500. So if you do all that math out, it comes to a grand total of $51,900 that the Stanton Foundation would provide us. There is no match for that, and the grant would be good for a total of 3 years that we have to utilize those funds. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Great. So we're going to open the public hearing first.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to open a public hearing regarding the canine officer, resolution 2023-078.
Second.
Okay, a motion by Council McGuckin to open the public hearing, second by Council Granessi. On the motion, Council Chercello?
Yes.
Council Flood?
Yes.
Council Granessi?
Yes.
Council McGuckin?
Yes.
Council Spencer?
Yes.
Council Katsoukaris?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. Public hearing is now open in this matter. If you wish to speak, come up and do so. State your name, address for the record.
Anybody online, Owen?
Seeing none, rise online, Mr. Chair.
Chairman, seeing no one online and no one rushing to the forefront, I'm going to make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, a motion by Council McGuckin to close the public hearing, second by Council Granessi. On the motion, Council Chercello?
Yes.
Council Katsoukaris?
Yes.
Council Flood?
Yes.
Council Granessi?
Yes.
Council McGuckin?
Yes.
Council Spencer?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. Public hearing is now closed in that matter. Council Katsoukaris, you had a question for the captain.
Yeah, I was wondering, this will be a dog for, go out looking for people that are lost and, gives you trouble and that type of stuff.
Correct.
Would you see in the future another dog that would be like going to the schools and meeting all the kids, going to the nursing homes, a friendlier dog?
I certainly
Do you
have
see
seen,
this in the future a little bit?
I certainly have seen those in communities around us. I'll also defer to the chief of police for the response to that question.
Good.
I have seen them used around us at other times.
I know, yeah. Yeah, I was in the State House and I was talking to one of the chiefs from up north. And they said they have two. One is a working one, and one they take to the schools and the nursing homes and parades, and everybody fell in love with the second dog, was afraid of the first one. So, but other than that, good job, hon.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Questions, comments?
Mr. Chairman, seeing no questions or comments, I'd like to read the following resolution. For a vote, resolution number 2023078, to authorize the town to apply, receive, expend a grant from the Stanton Foundation in support of the Police K-9 program. Whereas Section 5.1 of the town charter designates the council as the governing and legislative body of the town, and whereas Section 915 of the charter authorizes the town council to accept grant funding, and whereas the town council under Resolution 2023051 approved a supplemental appropriation to begin a police K-9 program, and whereas the Stanton Foundation provides grants to New Hampshire municipalities in support of a creation of a new police K-9 unit, and whereas in the best interest of the town to seek outside funding to assist with costs associated with said K-9 program, now therefore be resolved that the town administrator is hereby authorized to apply for, accept, and expend up to $53,900 in grant funds from the Stanton Foundation to assist in the creation of the Derry Police K-9 program. Resolution shall take effect immediately upon passage, should be adopted December 5th, 2023.
Second.
Okay, motion by Counsel McGuckin, second by Counsel Katsoukaris. On the motion, Counsel Chercello.
Yes.
Counsel Katsoukaris.
Yes.
Counsel Flood.
Yes.
Counsel Canesi.
Absolutely, yes.
Counsel McGuckin.
Yay.
Absolutely, yes.
Ooh.
Counsel Spencer.
My vote is yes, but can I make just a quick point of order on the final resolution? Just to clarify, in our packet, it says the amount is $51,900, just to reflect accurate amounts on there, whichever one it really is. Just to double check that. But I vote yes, regardless.
Yes, duly noted, thank you.
Hold on, we have a. It's
the right number, 51
Yeah, we'd suggest to go with the 53.9. If you look in the staff report, there's a couple of costs that currently funding at a certain level. This gives us a little more leeway in case the grant comes in $1,000 more. We don't have to come back to the council. If it's much greater, we'll come back later, but this gives us a little bit of headroom.
Okay.
Okay,
And we get a very good aggressive head nod by Council Spencer.
yeah, she agrees, okay. And I vote yes, so, thank you very much, Captain.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you.
All right. Moving along, 23-125, resolution 2023-079, to authorize acceptance of a U.S. Department of Energy grant for the solar project at the closed landfill. Public Works Director Mike Fowler. Good evening, Mike.
Good evening, everybody. All right, so I'm here tonight just as a matter of a little bit of an update and to obviously obtain town council approval to apply for and accept a grant opportunity that will help lower the electricity costs below what we already are going to be assigned through our power purchasing agreement. So real quick, the history on this project, late 2021, Net Zero Committee, Jeff Moulton and all the members worked on getting a proposal together. Town council reviewed whether or not we wanted to buy outright the solar panels or enter into a power purchase agreement where a company would own the solar panels and we would be leasing them the landfill site to produce electricity. So long story short, after a couple of meetings, town council agreed with the concept of going with a power purchase agreement. We executed the contract with Encore Renewables from Burlington, Vermont. So that started in early 2022. There's been a lot of design work. There's been a lot of regulatory items we've had to go through New Hampshire DES, but simultaneously we were made aware of an opportunity of a $500,000 grant through Senator Shaheen's office, which we put in a preliminary application. We were given a positive indication of a $500,000 grant from the U.S. Department of Energy. So basically the concept would be if we throw $500,000 through this grant towards the project, it will lower our electricity rate from 6.8 cents fixed for 25 years. That's what the current agreement has. And there's a provision that we put in as an option if we were able to get this grant, which would lower our rate to 6 cents per kilowatt hour and that's over the 25-year lifespan of our agreement. So in total dollars, if we were to get the lower cost, because all of this power that's being produced will be distributed to 30 plus or minus town facilities, that means a savings of about $700,000 total to the town over the course of the 20 years, above and beyond what we're already going to be saving, even if we didn't go after the grant. So we're still working through some of the logistics, but we felt it was time to bring this to the town council and get official authority to move forward with the formal application and negotiation process, and also to have the ability for the town administrator to expend those funds if we're deemed ultimately successful in getting those. So that's an update, and just as a general, we're hoping that if everything falls into place as far as the Encore, that they will be kicking off construction on that site probably in the spring of '24, and if everything goes well with delivery times and lead items, we should have that project completed by November of 2024 and electricity being produced about a year from today. So with that, it's obviously a public hearing, so I'll step away if there's any questions or go from there.
Chairman, I'm going to make a motion to open the public hearing.
Second.
Motion to open public hearing, seconded by Counsel Katsoukaris. On the motion, Counsel Chercello.
Yes.
Counsel Katsoukaris.
Yes.
Counsel Flood.
Yes.
Counsel Granessi.
Yes.
Counsel McGuirk.
Yes.
Counsel Spencer.
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. Public hearing is now open in this matter. If you wish to speak, come up and do so. Please state your name and address for the record. And Owen,
Seeing none rise, Mr. Chair?
we have someone coming
Tommy's
up.
coming up.
Here comes Tom.
Just let me know when when Tom finishes, Owen, if there's anybody there.
Good evening.
Good evening. Tom Carden, 2 Cunningham Drive. I am also a member of the Net Zero Committee. And I just wanted to thank Mike Fowler, Jeff Moulton, and of course Dave Karen for all the work they put into this grant. I know Mike made it sound pretty simple up here, but I mean, he's been going back and forth for 2 years. So, I mean, I know the effort that he put in, and it's very much appreciated. And it's a pretty big deal for the town. So I just wanted to thank those guys for all the effort that they put in.
Cool.
Thank you. And thank you for all your efforts, Tom, and the committee as well. Questions?
Mr.
Seeing
Chairman,
none.
seeing no one rise after Tom and
Seeing
no
none
one
online,
online,
Mr.
we
Chair.
need to make a motion to close the public hearing, please.
Second.
Motion to close public hearing, second by Counsel Katsoukaris. On the motion, Counsel Chercello.
Yes.
Counsel Katsoukaris.
Yes.
Counsel Flood.
Yes.
Counsel McGuirk.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Counsel Granessi. I
Yes.
skipped over you. Counsel Spencer.
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. Public hearing is now closed. Sorry, I was looking.
I know, it's all right. Each to the fun side.
Counsel Chercello, you had something?
Yeah, I just had a quick question to see if I have it right. So we're entering into a PPA, which the company's actually putting in all the infrastructure, no cost to the town. And then they deliver the rate of electricity of, whatever, I think you said 6.8.
Yes.
So if we were to be awarded this 500,000, are we just offsetting our costs? It just goes into a special line in the town, and we're just, how does that work?
All right, so the mechanics of this are, if you can imagine, so one of the components of the grant use would be for, Eversource has a cost. So they have their existing infrastructure. Encore had calculated a certain number that it would cost. We now have that number at $231,000 that Eversource will charge us. If we get $500,000, we'll use it against that. The town will also have some other development costs from the meter into the wastewater treatment plant transfer station area that we haven't determined quite yet, but those costs will also be offset by this grant. If for some reason the grant doesn't come to fruition, Encore is covering that cost. It just means we'll have a different rate as a result of it.
So, okay, so they'll build that.
Yeah, it's built into the core agreement, but if we get the grant, we drop our rate by 0.8 cents.
All right, thanks, Mike.
Anyone else? Questions?
So there's no cost to the town of Derry
There's
at
not.
this point?
No, not at this point.
Thank you, Michael.
We're good.
If there are no other questions, Mr. Chairman,
There's no other questions.
I will be happy to read the resolution. Resolution 2023079, to accept a U.S. Department of Energy grant for solar project at the closed landfill. Whereas Section 915 of the Town Charter authorizes the Town Council to accept grant funding And whereas the town council pursuant to resolutions 020, 22009, 010, and 011 authorized an agreement with Derry Solar LLC to lease and develop a solar array at the closed landfill. And whereas Senator Shaheen submitted a Department of Energy grant in the federal FY23 budget to assist with project interconnection site prep costs. And whereas acceptance of this grant will reduce the town's electric costs over a 25-year term of the agreement. Now therefore be it resolved in council pursuant to RSA 3195B that the town administrator is hereby authorized to apply for, accept, and expend up to $500,000 from the United States Department of Energy for the solar project at the closed landfill. Resolution shall take effect immediately upon passage, adopted 12/5/2023.
Second.
Okay, motion by Counselor McGuckin, second by Counselor Katsoukaris. On the motion, Counselor Chercello.
Yes.
Counselor Katsoukaris.
Yes.
Counselor Flood.
Yes.
Counselor Grunesi.
Yes.
Counselor McGuckin.
Yes.
Counselor Spencer.
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. Motion passes 7-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. We have no new business, so we'll go on to council comments. Liaison reports. Counselor Flood.
On January 7th, we have our next community event at the Tupelo Music Hall. It's a battle of the bands, all high school age kids and college age kids from the area. And you can get more information on our website, or you can just go to the Tupelo Hall website and get information there. It's only $20, and we almost sold it out last year, so that's our goal this year, is to sell out the Tup for these kids. They're working really hard, and it'll be an entertaining show and a little educational on suicide teen prevention. So, like I said, January 7th at the Tupelo Music Hall, you can get your tickets on their website. Cool, thank you.
Counselor Chercello, you have your hand up?
No,
Oh, thank you. Anyone else? Nope. All right, take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion to adjourn.
Short and sweet.
Seconded. Counselor Chercello.
Yes.
Counselor Katsoukaris.
Yes.
Counselor Flood.
Yep.
Counselor McGuckin.
I don't know, I gotta think about this.
Counselor Grunesi.
Yes.
Yes.
Counselor Spencer.
Yes.
Meeting adjourned.
Oh, my glory.